a behind the scenes piece talking about how they've been in a full meltdown about this girl.
Our primary purpose is to entertain, and where we can entertain responsibly, obviously we try to do that. We try to have a positive impact on the world.
They said this film would usher in a brand new chapter for Disney's live-action remakes, another beloved classic reimagined for modern audiences. Fans braced themselves, unsure whether to celebrate a fresh perspective or feel uneasy about tampering with an untouchable legacy. Yet no one could have predicted the storm that brewed behind the scenes.
It just takes a beloved movie and makes it much more boring and much less realistic. The movie is really, really bad.
Rumors of a strong-willed star pushing the studio's limits. Heated debates about whether the story was straying too far from its timeless charm, and ultimately a live TV appearance so jaw-dropping that it effectively derailed everything. How did a single, seemingly routine interview go so awry that it not only tarnished the star's image, but also compelled the nation's largest theater chain, AMC, to cast the film aside?
There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her.
And what does this say about Disney's once unshakable hold on family entertainment? You might think you know the story, but there's a side to this meltdown that most people have never heard. That's exactly what we're about to explore. For years, Disney's approach to live-action remakes had seemed unstoppable. Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, The Lion King, love them or hate them, they raked in cash at the box office and kept the franchise machine humming. So when word spread that they were tackling another cherished classic, many people assumed success was guaranteed. But early on, keen observers noticed signs of turbulence.
Even the little kids who like Disney movies, even they don't seem to be turning up in droves for the movie because the movie is really, really bad.
Insiders whispered that this wasn't simply going to be a faithful recreation. The production team hoped to modernize every aspect, from the main character's motivation to the very setting itself. At first, fans were curious. A fresh angle could be compelling, unless it was done with too heavy a hand. Then came the initial snippets of interviews from the new lead actor, who repeatedly hinted that the original story was outdated, or in need of a major overhaul. Suddenly, cautious anticipation shifted to growing skepticism. Was this remake about to discard everything that made the story a classic in the first place? Online forums erupted, with some defending the creative changes and others condemning them as a betrayal. Even then, few imagined these disagreements would spiral into a phenomenon that top executives would later call the biggest fiasco in recent memory. But that was only the tip of the iceberg. Something else was brewing that would outshine the mere grumbles of a fan base. But just when everyone thought it couldn't get more intense, the star ramped up her public appearances.
It's no longer 1937, and we absolutely wrote a Snow White.
That laugh.
That is
not going to be saved by
You
the
wrote
prince.
it?
It's not going to be saved by the prince.
That's where things truly took a startling turn. From the moment she was cast, the film's lead actor dazzled mainstream media, at least initially. Here was a fresh face with undeniable talent, plucked from relative obscurity. She had strong stage presence, an impressive vocal range, and a can-do attitude that many believed would resonate with younger viewers. Yet behind that self-assured confidence lay an unwavering commitment to speaking her mind, no matter the consequences. Her early interviews didn't merely tease the changes in the film, they practically championed a revolutionary take on the timeless narrative. She labeled certain core elements of the classic story as antiquated, determined to prove that she and the new creative team were forging the next generation's iconic fantasy. Initially, the studio spun this boldness into a marketing advantage. Empowerment, they said, was the key to capturing the hearts of modern audiences.
And if you disagree with this sentiment, just hit the unfollow button.
But cracks in the facade started showing. High-ranking Disney executives who typically prefer carefully managed publicity found themselves nervously monitoring her social media accounts. She wasn't towing the line. She posted personal opinions that veered into territory the studio considered too provocative. A unique tension loomed. How far would this outspoken star push her independence before colliding with a corporation that thrives on squeaky clean branding? As public appearances ramped up, the controversy soared. Some fans adored her outspokenness, seeing it as an authentic stand for progress. Others felt she was dismissive, if not downright contemptuous, of what made the original so beloved.
In every way that the movie differed from the beloved 1937 original, it was worse.
What nobody foresaw was how swiftly these simmering tensions would explode in the studio's face when they planned a friendly chat on daytime TV. While the star confidently faced the cameras, backstage whispers grew louder. Production assistants leaked stories of on-set frustrations. Certain cast members felt overshadowed by the lead's uncompromising approach. Rumors circulated of script rewrites deep into shooting, with entire character arcs either scrapped or made unrecognizable. Even costume designers chimed in, claiming they were forced to rework classic outfits into something so drastically modern that it barely evoked the original aesthetic. Meanwhile, fan communities buzzed with concerns about everything from potential changes to iconic songs to the absence of specific beloved characters. Some tabloids predicted a public clash was coming, but no one could pinpoint exactly how it would unfold. After all, big studios are experts at crisis management, and anything short of an on-air catastrophe can often be spun into a positive narrative. But tension has a way of seeking an outlet. The moment came during a scheduled appearance on a popular talk show, an event meant to highlight the bright side of the production. Instead, it would become an unforgettable meltdown, reshaping how fans and insiders saw not just the lead actor, but the entire Disney brand. Little did the host, or the stunned audience, know that within minutes, they'd be watching the film's reputation crumble right before their eyes. The talk show's opening chatter seemed typical. The host tossed a few softball questions about how exciting it was to modernize a beloved story, and the star responded cheerfully, at first. But all it took was one loaded question about whether she believed the original film was too outdated to be respectful for the tone to change. In that split second, viewers noticed her expression tighten. The star didn't politely dodge. She seized the chance to declare that the old film represented ancient ideas, claiming audiences who cherished it were clinging to something that's long past its expiration date. Gasps and murmurs rippled through the live studio crowd. The hosts exchanged alarmed glances. A few tried to steer the conversation back to safer ground, but the actor was on a roll. Within minutes, she expanded her critique, delving into divisive social issues that had nothing to do with the film. Tension mounted on set as producers scurried behind the cameras, gesturing frantically for the hosts to cut to a commercial. The star ignored all hints. She insisted on telling viewers how she really felt, even if it meant openly clashing with Disney's traditionally family-friendly ethos. Halfway through one particularly fiery statement, the show abruptly cut to a standby graphic, leaving the audience in stunned silence. The meltdown had been witnessed by millions in real time, its rawness, and the star's refusal to be reined in, searing the moment into Hollywood infamy. The immediate aftermath was pandemonium. Social media erupted with hashtags that ranged from scathing mockery to earnest support. Outraged fans vowed to boycott the film. Others lauded her courage, praising her for refusing to be a corporate puppet. But the damage was done. This meltdown would soon dominate entertainment headlines, overshadowing even the film's biggest marketing pushes. And while the star's unfiltered words caused an uproar, what happened next turned a concerning PR storm into a full-blown catastrophe. As soon as the talk show went to an unscheduled commercial, Disney's PR machinery went into emergency mode. Hastily arranged statements tried to paint the meltdown as a misunderstanding, suggesting that the star's remarks were being taken out of context. But that explanation didn't hold. The entire episode, with her quotes fully intact, was already being shared across social platforms. Some staffers privately admitted that the meltdown was even worse than it appeared, because it wasn't a slip of the tongue. It was planned. The star, apparently fed up with compromises, had decided she would speak her mind, no matter the timing. Overnight, major online communities erupted in debate. Team Star believed she was a hero for voicing genuine opinions. Team Disney accused her of biting the hand that fed her and insulting longtime fans in the process. Disney's next move was to limit further interviews, effectively silencing the lead. But the controversy had already caught fire. Merchandise tie-ins started vanishing from prominent store displays. Meanwhile, rumors floated that test screenings revealed audiences felt alienated by the new direction. Many wanted the magic of the classic, not a full-blown deconstruction. Executives faced a question they had rarely grappled with before. Could a Disney project flop so dramatically that major theater chains might cut and run? The answer came sooner than anyone expected, and it was brutal. Just when they thought the panic might subside, AMC stepped forward with a decision that stopped everyone in Hollywood cold. AMC Theaters, a titan in the movie exhibition world, had carried nearly every Disney release for decades. Countless families relied on AMC screens for that immersive big screen magic. So when the chain announced it would remove this highly anticipated film from its lineup, effective almost immediately, the industry reeled. Pundits couldn't recall the last time a major partner pulled a Disney film so swiftly, especially one that was supposed to be a marquee event. Why would AMC take such a drastic measure? The official explanation pointed to dismal ticket sales. Weeks of advanced screenings showed empty seats galore, with daily attendance barely covering operational costs. Managers at local cinemas complained that families were actively avoiding the film, discouraged by the barrage of negative press and put off by the star's incendiary remarks. For Disney, it was a humiliating blow. Losing AMC didn't just mean fewer screens. It symbolized a loss of industry faith in the guaranteed draw of a Disney classic. Some speculated that Disney might have quietly given AMC the green light to yank the film, hoping a swift burial would stanch the bad publicity. But that didn't stop outraged fans from calling the meltdown a spectacle of arrogance, with one online critic bluntly stating, "Disney forgot that fans have a choice, and AMC just reminded them." In a matter of days, theater postings across the country began dropping showtimes, either replacing them with other releases or leaving the screens dark. Critics labeled it the worst fiasco of Disney's live-action experiment, overshadowing even past controversies. And for a moment, it seemed like the meltdown had claimed its final victim, the film's chance to earn back even a fraction of its massive production and marketing costs. But the fallout was far from over. One question lingered in the air. What would happen to the star who had inadvertently, or perhaps intentionally, turned this project upside down? Like an aftershock that extends a quake's devastation, the meltdown's effects rippled far beyond the film's box office bomb. Almost immediately, the star's future projects were placed under scrutiny. Industry insiders whispered about her being labeled box office poison, a cruel but potent term that can devastate an actor's career in Hollywood. Offers that once seemed certain now appeared to stall. Her defenders argued that she was simply a casualty of a system that prioritizes safe, marketable images over authenticity. Meanwhile, Disney initiated a round of internal postmortems. How could they lose control of their own narrative so utterly? Typically, Disney prides itself on orchestrating spotless publicity campaigns. Yet this fiasco exposed a glaring vulnerability. If even one crucial player steps out of line, the entire facade can collapse under the weight of social media outrage. Some executives proposed more rigid contracts, clauses that would limit how freely a star could talk about politically sensitive issues or speak disparagingly about the original material. Critics slammed this suggestion, warning that a clampdown on creativity would produce robotic ambassadors who failed to connect with fans on any human level. On the flip side, there was also a shift in the fan community. A portion of viewers began voicing disillusionment with the endless stream of remakes. Why watch a reimagined version that seems to sneer at the original? One viral post asked. Others lamented that Disney had tried to fix what wasn't broken, turning a treasured fairy tale into a battlefield of modern politics and corporate maneuvering. In the midst of it all, AMC's decisions still reverberated. Some claimed AMC had shown just how vulnerable even the biggest studios can be when controversies scare audiences away. Theater representatives insisted the move was purely business. They couldn't afford to devote screens to a film that no one wanted to see. Ultimately, this fiasco underscores a crucial reality. When a film's buzz becomes more about scandal than storytelling, that film stands on shaky ground. And once a meltdown of this magnitude grips the public imagination, it can overshadow every poster, trailer, and well-intentioned interview that follows. In the end, this live-action adaptation that promised to shatter box office records instead shattered the illusion of Disney's invincibility. A star's unfiltered honesty might have been seen as courageous if it wasn't packaged with a harsh dismissal of the classic's timeless appeal. A powerful studio might have weathered minor controversies had it not let a single interview derail its carefully crafted narrative. And AMC, a steadfast partner for generations of Disney releases, proved that loyalty only goes so far when empty seats threaten the bottom line. Will Disney bounce back? Almost certainly. It's an entertainment giant with a storied history of reinvention. Will the star find redemption in future roles or remain haunted by that notorious meltdown? That's less certain. And will audiences eventually forgive, or even forget, the fiasco that turned a fairy tale remake into a cautionary tale about unchecked hubris? Only time will tell. But let this entire saga be a cautionary reminder. When studios decide to modernize a beloved classic, they walk a perilously thin line between innovation and alienation. Push too hard, and even the most devoted fans might choose to stay home. Or demand the theater chain pull the film from its screens altogether. The meltdown at the heart of this story will go down as one of the most sensational in recent memory, a testament to how quickly a project can unravel when bold intentions meet an unpredictable public audience. In the world of Hollywood blockbusters, you can have a powerful brand, a sprawling fan base, and a mountain of resources. But if you betray the spirit of what people loved or insult them outright, no amount of marketing can conceal the spark that ignites a scandal. And as we've seen, that spark can grow into a blaze so big it singes even the most legendary names. So the next time you hear about a groundbreaking reimagining of a cherished tale, remember, one wrong move in front of a live camera and an entire kingdom built on dreams can vanish in a heartbeat. Maybe the meltdown was inevitable. Or maybe it was a lesson waiting to be learned. Either way, the real magic lies in how, or if, Disney and its stars can recover once the dust settles. Thank you for watching. Let us know what you think of this controversial saga, and whether you believe Disney can restore your faith in future live-action projects. If you found this story compelling, stick around, because the twists and turns of Hollywood's biggest gambles are never truly over.